Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And we all know that NEET 2020 is approaching, and it's a major cause of tension for the medical aspirants. So today we are going to talk about some of the tricks and suggestions and tips for NEET 2020. So let's start. Okay. Firstly, remember that do not read something new which you have not prepared now. Don't start preparing it now because you do not have much time left. Okay, so whatever you have read till date, whatever you have read, just revise that and make that portion stronger. Okay, make stronger more strong. All right, don't start mugging up new things which you have not read. We should have done it before. You have not done for some of the other reason. Leave it. You cannot do it now. Because if you start reading those portions now, you will you will confuse between your previously done portions and this one, and in a short span of time you cannot mug up or cannot prepare the newer things, right? So just stick with the previous ones which you have done and make that portion even stronger, right? So first one is, do not start preparing new things as we have very less time left. Okay, let's move to the second point. Just continuation of the first one. Revise what you have done thoroughly. Revise it thoroughly. Okay, once Bruce Lee said that I do not fear the person who has practiced 10,000 kicks one time, but I fear the person who has practiced kicking once but practiced it 10,000 times. You understand what I'm saying? This is what Bruce Lee said, right? So just make what you have prepared, make it stronger. Revise it thoroughly. Revise thoroughly. As many times as you can. Okay. Now third, very important, time management. Not only in your exam, right? Time management for your studies as well. How much time do you need to dedicate to biology? How much time to physics? How much time to chemistry? Well, that depends entirely upon yourself, right? How much which it depends on how progressed you are in each subject, right? If you are very good at biology, you don't need to devote much time in that. You have to devote much more time in physics and chemistry as well, because those three subjects are equally important for NEET 2020. Okay, so time management is very important. Even in exams, I would suggest in exams you need the maximum time for physics, right? And a moderate amount of time for chemistry and a very less time for biology. Even though biology, the number of questions in biology is double the number of questions each in physics and chemistry. But in biology, either you know the answer or you don't know, right? If you see the question, you know the answer, you tick it. You don't know, leave it. But in physics, you have to work out. In chemistry, partly you have to work out. You have to apply your logic. In bio also you have to apply your logic, but that the time span for each question is very less. You don't need much time to solve each question. Okay, so that goes for time management. Now, yes, the next point is solve one practice paper daily. At least one. I am saying one because we have some we do have more than a week left, right? So please start practicing at least one question paper per day and do it just the way you're going to give the exam in NEET, right? In your examination center, you take some OMR sheets and practice filling that, okay, with your time, and see how much time you save. You have to manage. In this way you can also help in time management in the paper. Okay, it should not be that first time you're filling up the OMR sheet in first time in the examination center. You must have practiced it beforehand in your home with your own stopwatch and with your own time management, right? Because the time management entirely depends upon you. The tactics is entirely dependent upon you, right? So that goes for practicing of model paper, sample paper. You can also practice previous year papers, right? They give a better idea. and many of you have done so, I hope. Okay, now number 5, it's related with the exam, order of attempting the question. Now this may differ from person to person. What I have done, I am sharing. I used to always attempt bio first. Then I used to go for chemistry. Then I used to go for physics. Right? Why did I attempt bio first? Because as I said earlier, biology questions take minimum amount of time, right? You read the question once and read the question very carefully. Read it multiple times, but read it very carefully. Even a single word can change the answer, right? So read it multiple times, and once you read the question, you get to know either you know the answer or you don't know. If you know the answer very well, do it. If you do not know, you can apply a logic if applicable. If you apply a logic and then try to do it, if not, then leave it, right? If not, then leave it. Do not go for guessworking, right? It doesn't work all the time. Maximum time it doesn't work. Do not go for guessing, right? And another point, when you do a question in bio, when you read a question in bio and you're sure that an answer for that question is say option B, you mark it in the OMR sheet. You have to do it carefully against the correct question number, but then and there mark it in the OMR sheet. Do not leave it for doing it at the last. Why you tick on the question paper and leave it there, leave it so that you think that I'll do it at the last. Do not do that, because I'm telling this from my personal experience. When I was in class say 6 or 7, I applied for mathematics Olympiad and I did the same thing. I solved actually all of the sums and left and just ticked in the question paper and I left that I'll fill in the OMR sheet at the last. Okay, what happened is the time was over and the examiner, the invigilator, took away my sheet and I could not attempt, hardly I could attempt 5 of the questions, right? So my marks was terribly bad. But I calculated, if I would have marked all those solved questions in the OMR sheet beforehand, I would have got 2nd or 3rd position in my class, right? So please do not do that. Just follow whichever question you're sure that it will be the answer, tick it. You can tick it and then and there fill it in the OMR sheet, right? If you are very carefully against the correct question number, because if you just make a single question series marking wrong, then the entire series goes wrong, right? So do it carefully, and if you are not sure about a question but you know that I'll be able to do it if I get some more time, you just do it in the question paper and encircle it in the question paper. Do not fill it then you can leave it for the last if you have time, right? But whichever question answer you are sure, please fill it then and there in the OMR sheet. Do not keep it for last. It's from my personal experience. Next, we go for chemistry. Now, chemistry has physical chemistry where you have to solve, right? So you need much time. You have inorganic chemistry, which is much more like of bio, fact based, right? So you don't have to spend a lot of time there. In organic chemistry, you have to spend a little more time, of course less than physical chemistry, but yes, you need to work out the mechanisms and apply the logic and do. So I would suggest do chemistry at the second, okay, after bio, and then at last go for physics, because in physics there are several calculations, several mathematical calculations, there are several conceptual questions. You need to apply concept and you need much more time for that. Okay, so the paper is of 3 hours. I would suggest try doing bio in 30 minutes. Believe me, try doing bio in 30 minutes. Try doing chemistry in 45 to 50 minutes and devote the rest of the time in physics, right? Devote the rest of the time in physics. If you can devote more time in physics, leave more time for physics, do that. Because after you complete physics, if you have some time left, then revise the questions and whichever you can apply the logic, okay, and you say which you had left for the sake of security, you are not sure about that. Now you can go for those questions and whatever you think you would do that and fill in the OMR sheet, right? Keep maximum time for physics, second maximum time for chemistry, and the least time for bio, because bio needs very less time. You have to devote less time in bio to bring out the time for chemistry and physics, especially physics, right? It's very important. So that's all about the order of attempting the questions, right? Next point we have is just the day, what you should do just the day before the exam. Okay, many of you get panicked, get afraid what will happen tomorrow is my exam. So please, there are some points, you just follow this. Okay, I know it's very hard, but still you have to follow. If you can follow, then it's very useful, right? Just before the day of exam. Firstly, check your admit card. You in whichever, if you take a bag, of course you'll not be allowed to take the bag inside the examination center, but in whichever thing you'll carry your the essentials. Please, the day before the exam, first of all put your admit card. Never ever forget it. Admit card, the original admit card. Okay, never ever forget this, because it will add to the panic before the exam, nothing else. Second, always nicely check your dress code. Always just wear simple dress, and I hope you know the dress code, which is you were made aware of that when you were filling the application for NEET 2020. Okay, please stick to the dress code. You do not want to be, of course, you do not want to be harassed by the security personnel before the exams, right? Just go for simple dress code, whichever they have mentioned. Okay, so stick to the dress code. Because if the security harasses you at that time, then that'll add to the tension. Just you are already tensed for the exam. Now that will do nothing but add to the tension, right? So it's better to check the dress code beforehand and just go for simple dress. Next, before the day before the exam, have a very good sleep at night. Very nice sleep. Okay. It's not that the day before exam you are studying a whole night. No, never do that. Have a nice peaceful sleep. That will always help you to do well in your exam, right? That relaxes the brain and your brain can work more efficiently on the exam date. Okay. Yes. Now before you go for the exam, make sure to have light food. You must have food. It's not that you will not have food. No, you have to have food, but light food. Okay, and water. And I would suggest take you have glucose powders, right? So you mix some glucose powder with water and you take it. Okay, take glucose water because it supplies energy to your brain, so your brain can work more efficiently. It helps a lot. I have been doing that. Okay, take glucose water and light food, of course. Do not go empty stomach, please. Okay, next is, I'm writing it here. So next we have is, please reach the examination center much before the allotted time. You do not want to be get involved into unnecessary harassment, right? So reach the examination center much before the allotted time. You see, I am telling is of my personal experience. The center which I was allotted to, I reached much before the time, right? I reached much before the time, but some of my fellow candidates who reached there after 4 to 5 minutes after the allotted time for entry. Okay, after the time limit for entry, they were not allowed to, believe me, they were not allowed to enter. They were not allowed to give the examinations. Believe me, they were around 10 to 15 of them, like that. Please stick to the allotted time limit and reach much before the time limit. It will be very safe, secure, right? Don't get into unnecessary harassment. Okay. And it helps a lot. It helps in another thing. See, when you are going to an entirely new examination center, right? You have to sit somewhere in a classroom and give the examination. You do not know how the classroom would be. That matters. The environment of the classroom matters. Okay, the atmosphere of the classroom matters. So to get accustomed to the environment. Believe me, it works. To get accustomed to the environment and the atmosphere of the classroom, if you reach early, you settle down in the classroom and you get accustomed to the surrounding atmosphere. Okay, what is happening there? You just get accustomed, right? So it helps a lot. It helps a lot in the betterment of the concentration, right? If you suddenly reach the classroom, an entirely new classroom, and the exam starts, and suddenly you start giving the exam, believe me, you will be in a much more tension. And if you settle down from beforehand, you will be feeling much less tension, right? So please follow this. And then, okay, the last point next we have is, of course, you are made aware of this beforehand, that due to the COVID situations, you are allowed to take certain essentials with you, and they are, first of all, the mask, secondly gloves in your hand, thirdly a transparent water bottle. Transparent, mind it should be transparent, no stickers, no nothing, transparent. It should be, we should be able to see through it, right? Fourth, don't fall into unnecessary trouble by bringing all those stickered water bottles. Next, number 4 is, you have personal small hand sanitizer. Personal small hand sanitizer, you must bring this for your safety, own safety purpose, right? Due to the prevailing COVID-19 situations. At last, of course, your admit card. Of course, you are not going to forget it. And an ID proof. Okay, due to the COVID situations, some of the, the procedures and all, everything, they have changed a little bit, and they have been uploaded in the NEET website. I'll give a link in the description below. You can read it from there also. Most of you might have read it beforehand, right? So that's all about the tips and tricks for NEET 2020, the last minute suggestions. And most important thing, please do not panic and relax. Do not panic. It will only add to the to your tension, nothing else, and it will not lead to the betterment of the exam, right? It will only deteriorate your exam. It will only deteriorate your performance. Please relax and please do not panic. Do not panic. Whatever is going to happen, you have to face that, right? When you are going to enter the examination hall, it's obvious that you will get tensed. Your heartbeat rate will increase. Yeah, I know it happens, but you have to control and you have to relax. Just take deep breaths and relax. It's most important. It works. Please relax. So that's all for NEET 2020. Please, best of luck, very best of luck for to you all. Please and give your exam nicely. So that's all for the video. Thank you. If you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it among your friends. And so stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.